to find the center of this board. So we're going to measure this. This is 36 1/4 by 19 1/2. The first thing I'm basically going to do, I am wanting to center this saw as best as I can on this board. I basically just put the saw just like that. Got about 12 1/4, 12 1/4. About the same side. I'm not gonna overthink it. Alright, next step, I want to center it the other way. So I figured that's about 7 1/16 there. It's about 7 1/16 there. So we know we're good. Okay, so now I'm just marking my lines exactly where I want this saw to go. So right here I have 12 1/4. I'll mark that right here. 12 1/4. This board isn't exactly straight, but I'm really not too worried about that. This edge is straight, so I'm just going to line this edge up with my 12 1/4. Boom, call that good, just like that. Of course, when you're OCD and a perfectionist as hell, you need to have a straight line. Boom, call that good. Make our line. 12. Marking my line for the other side of the board, I figured this is 12 1/8. I'm gonna mark this 12 1/8, just like that. Some funky stuff going on here. 12 1/8, boom, right there. Sorry guys, got kind of a backwards brain. Bear with me. I'm making this video as imperfect as I possibly can. Mark the line, hopefully that's 12 1/8 all the way across. Next one is for lengthwise. I got this at 7 1/16. Mark this at 7 1/16. Mark that, 7 1/16. Make sure those match up. Just boom, put it on my mark. On my mark. I like to have it right on my freaking mark. Enough. Alright, so now I'm going to do the other side lengthwise. Same deal, we're going to come over about a 7 1/16 there. Down here to the bottom of our square, 7 1/16. Boom. Okay, lost my arrow, of course, again. It's okay. Line up our pencil to our deal. Here we decided I'm going to make this a portable skill saw, portable table saw, excuse me. I'm going to make it a base. I'm just going to do this first measurement at say 19 1/4. Now I'm just going to simply just cut my 2x4 down to the length of the board. Get the edges straight first. There's that. Measure 19 1/4. I'm measuring my length board, so the 2x4s are 1.5 inches thickness. I'm just gonna mark that real quick right there, just so I have a line to go by for my lengthwise 2x4. Measure from that to there. We're gonna call that about 33 1/4. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark my 33 1/4. Which is like right here. Mark for that. Alright, cut my 33 1/4 down. See how that fits. Okay, we're back. I'm just putting this 2x4 on. I have them clamped up. Just gonna do some pre-drills. Pre-drill there. Right there. Screw this in. Screw this in. Finish doing my 2x4s all the way around the base. Okay, so we're back. I actually ended up making a mistake. I had to remeasure because I put the lines on the top of the surface and I want the skill saw to go on the bottom. Alright, just finished putting up all the screws up in here. Start with the 2x4. Okay, almost got the base done. Just tacking this in for a little more stability. Just gonna pre-drill that. Pop a screw into the end here. Alright, so here we are. I'm just gonna plunge this blade through. Kind of a problem. This is a little bent, so I don't know, might have an issue with that. I'm just gonna try to hold this as straight as I possibly can. Bring the blade through, basically. An actual drill. Hold this down where I want it and go to town. Okay, so I'm still mounting the base of this saw onto the bottom of this table. I actually had to do it manually. I don't have the socket that goes to the drill bit, so I'm just literally using a self-tapper and screwing this in like so. Okay, I got 2 screws in each corner. I'm just gonna go ahead and plunge this through now. I loosen this. I'm just gonna cut through it. Really just checking this, make sure it's straight, and it looks pretty damn good to me. So that is good. Alright, here we are, next day on the table saw project. Right now I am literally just cutting some legs for it. I'm going to make it just short enough to fit on this table like that. Cutting these at 11 inches. Got my little thing made right there. And here we go. Now I got my legs cut about 11 inches. I'm just simply gonna pre-drill these first before I put my screws on. Got that clamp nice and straight. Check to make sure everything's level. Start a bit. Our screws put in there. Okay, of course you want to, do the zip tie thing. Hold the button down. I had to use 2 because I bought the cheap short ones. We get that on there, hold the button in, hold the button down, snip your excess zip tie. Oh, we should be good to rock and roll now. Just gonna give this a final sanding, make this nice and smooth. Normally I would never use this particle board, I just had it laying around, it was cheap and that's what I had, so let's get some sanding going on. Okay, there it is, DIY, a complete homemade table saw. Underneath, plug it in, make sure everything runs right. Should be